Our first email this week comes from Big Tony Style.
Big Tony Style.
All right.
He says, there was a recent Xbox survey that asked if gamers would like to sell back their digital titles for 10% of the purchase price. What does the Scoop Crew think about this idea? Would you guys sell back any of your digital games?
I have this mental image of like Oliver Twist just being like, please, may I have some more? I mean, if I bought Hot Trash, yeah, sure, I'll take my dime on the dollar, but otherwise, at that point, I just want to have my game.
I don't get it. It's a couponing system, basically, because...
Yeah, well, so like, one of the most common complaints about digital games is that they can't sell them back when they're done with them, right?
Yeah.
So this would at least provide some small incentive to buy digital games.
I totally think it's a great idea. I'm up to 966 Steam games.
I wanted to bring up your Steam collection.
966 games in my Steam collection, and in my personal case, no, I'm not interested in selling any of them back, but it makes me very uncomfortable. Like, I increasingly am shifting to buying things digitally. Don't like clutter in my house, I just don't like that. But I also have real problems with the way that you only lease digital games. You don't actually own that property. I can't loan the game to somebody in most cases. I can't sell the game if I ever, God forbid, did hit terrible financial times. Like, I can turn my stack of Xbox One games into cash. Can't do that with the digital games. Like, that's a problem. That's a real problem. It's a problem today in 2016. But in 2026, when everything's digital, then we've really created a problem for ourselves in how do you swap things with people, how do you share things, how do you sell things. Sam, you were just saying you went to an estate sale and bought some cool stuff. Like, there's no sort of sifting through anyone's collection of media. That deeply disturbs me and bothers me about the future of sort of media and entertainment. And I absolutely think people should be allowed to turn their digital goods back into cash.
I think that's a really great point. I love that you brought up the fact that sharing games is something that could be completely lost in particular. I care less about selling back.
They didn't announce anything about sharing.
I don't want to lose
right? But I do think that
it opens the door to start that conversation.
What I'm saying is selling back, I don't really care. Sharing, now I'm interested.
But I do think that 10%, and the 10% is people are getting really hung up on that because that's such a low number. And I'm like, but the hypothetical is like, now you have a system in place where you can take remove this game from your library and receive some Xbox Store credit. Like the amount is unimportant. Like, if it's too low an amount, don't do it. Like, the market will speak for itself. Whether people take advantage of this or not.
Plus, I think 10% is low, but it kind of makes sense. There's no real inventory being moved around here, right? It's just a bunch of ones and zeros coming in.
It's just mean that they take back your game. Just give somebody the 10% back if they want it. Why are they taking your game back? They have no use for that.
Well,
they'll resell it. They'll resell the game key to somebody.
But it's like I was just saying, there's no inventory being moved. It's like,
yeah, but you do have a finite.
There's not like a finite amount of game keys.
No, but like there's not a finite number.
They're not going to take the game key back.
But there is a
finite.
They're just
going to erase it from your system.
No, that's not true.
And give you $10.
You're not understanding the nuance of, like, Steam doesn't own the games that they sell to people. They have to pay. Like, if they sell 100,000 copies of The Division on Steam, they have to give Ubisoft the cash for that 100,000 copies. But if they can keep the keys in their system, they can continue reselling them without giving Ubisoft that money. It's like used games. It's like buying and selling used games. Although there will probably have to be an agreement in place where they do cut in the publisher to some degree.
You would think so.
But they might not get the same amount.
That only seems right.
Like, if they have to pay Ubisoft $40 for each copy of The Division that they sell right now, would they have to give them $40 if they took the key back from somebody and resold it? Probably not.
It's a better deal for Microsoft or Steam because they can resell the game for full price.
Yes.
Whereas GameStop has to sell it for a discounted price.
Right.
Slightly discounted.
Get a used digital game.
It's a used digital game. They get double the sales, triple the sales, however many.
One time I took a Nintendo 64 copy of Turok into GameStop, and they offered me 70 cents for it.
Wow. No, I have all kinds of games. That's why I have crates and crates of old games where I'm like, I don't want any of these, but they're only worth 70 cents. And I'm like, I don't want it, but I want it more than I want 75 cents in my pocket. So I end up with, like, I have like a whole closet full of games, like old weird PS2 and PSP games that I just don't care about.
You should just give them away on GameScoop like Damon did.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea, except it's not a tiny box.
Do we have any essays that have been turned in about this?
Yeah, what the hell? Who was that guy?
Oh, yeah. That guy who won all my games. He was supposed to write many reviews for all of them.
Did you send them out?
Yeah.
All right.
He has my games.
The burden is on.
But what does he think about Onimusha 2?
Yeah.
I like how
I'm gonna look up
this
guy's email. I don't remember his name at the moment, but I'm gonna look him up in a.
No, well, we know it wasn't Big Tony style.
No, it was not Big Tony style.
Yeah, I'm very much in favor of this. Hope I want it to happen.
Microsoft is circulating a survey asking, gauging interest in this. So maybe that would be an announcement. If they chose to do that, maybe that would be an announcement they would want to make at E3.
So yeah, that'd be great. I mean, there's a million and one concerns. Just like we talked about cross-platform multiplayer yesterday. It's one of those things that's it's easy on the surface and deeply complex and complicated underneath. Games get discounted steeply all the time. So it's like you could only get a percentage back of the cheapest the game's ever been sold, or Microsoft could lose money. Like I've bought games for 75 cents on Steam before, even though full price, it's $5 or $10.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you get anything back then? Like it's complicated.
Yeah.
But
you gotta get my $6 back,
right?
I think like 40 is better than 6. That's a thing.
40 is better than 6.
Like you can go to GameStop and get $40 back. It's a pretty big disparity.
Sure,
but they're talking about digital games,
which are still $60.
So maybe like you're like, what if a game that's only available digitally?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
you get 60 cents back.
$6. That sounds like a bad deal to me, but that's not my judgment check. If someone else thinks that that's a good deal to them, then I think they should have the option to do that.